over yourself that I will not allow hopeless thoughts in my mind. When you get these thoughts where you are like gone, there's no hope, you need to open your mouth and say, I will not, you are not allowed. No entry. Excuse me, hopeless thoughts, no entry. Don't allow bitterness in your heart. You may have gone through certain situations that may have caused bitterness to come to you. But that is exactly what the enemy wants. Enemy doesn't want you to get bitter. Because he knows that if the enemy knows that if he can interfere through bitterness, if he can interfere in your thoughts, you have lost the battle. When it's amazing how when you are bitter against somebody, every thought becomes bitter. You are upset with somebody, even if the person does something, you are saying, could have done this, could have done this, my husband could have done this, my wife could have done this. There's like a blanket of bitterness that comes. And that is a barrier. You need to get rid of that bitterness. You need to get rid of that offense, because that once that is gone, God can interfere in your life. He can allow the superior kingdom to interfere in your life. I'll give you an example. You see, Mary in the Old Testament was about to get married to Joseph. Everything was good. These two people, they liked each other, they loved each other. Until Mary was pregnant with Jesus. And when Joseph came to know about it, can you imagine what he must have felt? He must have gone so bitter, because here he is all excited to enter into this covenant of marriage. All preparations are done. He knows that girl is a good girl, and suddenly, it's the worst. If you're throwing stone at somebody, this is like a really sharp stone. Must have hit his heart and wounded him. And he could have done, it was in his power where he could have put Mary down in front of the entire society. He could have really caused a lot of damage to Mary's reputation. But what did he do? Matthew 1:19. Mary was pledged in marriage to Joseph, but before they came together, she was found to be with child through the Holy Spirit. Because Joseph, her husband, was faithful to the law and yet did not want to expose her to public disgrace, he had in his mind to divorce her quietly. So what were his thoughts? His thoughts were not of revenge. His thoughts were not to disgrace Mary, but he was thinking how I can, what has me is injustice. It's not right. But he was not crying over it. He was not bitter over it. In his mind, what were his thoughts? He was thinking, okay, what has happened, but this guy was faithful to the law. He loved the word. In other words, loved the word. And he didn't want to expose Mary. Although he had every reason. He said, I'll not do it. Those were, thoughts of God. This is how God will think. And verse 20, it says, but while he thought about these things, behold, an angel of the Lord appeared to him in a dream. Did you see that connection? His thoughts became a portal because he was thinking the thoughts of God. And he was thinking biblically to say, and he was not offended, he was not bitter, because as he was thinking about these things, the superior kingdom ushered at that moment in his life. At that moment, an angel came and appeared to him. So, what is God's? You may have a reason to hold bitterness in your heart. God is saying, can you still bitterness that offends to me and not allow that to contaminate your heart? Not allow that to interfere with your thoughts. And when you do that, I will back you up. Isn't it interesting? After this, dream after dream, God began to speak to Joseph. Go to Egypt, go here, go that. God was comfortable with Joseph. Is the presence of God comfortable with your thinking? Or are you all the time crying for your life, where you are crying, if only I had this, if only I married this one, if only I ventured into this career, if only I had so much money, if only I had so much influence, if only I had so many people following me. How will that superior kingdom come close to you? It has to get attracted to your thinking. So don't guard your thoughts, okay? Guard your thoughts, because this is exactly what the enemy wants. He wants your thinking to get contaminated.